Hello and welcome to the Project Vanlife Summit. I am Katie with GoCamp, and today I'm going to be talking to you about try before you buy #Vanlife, or essentially how to get into your first camper van, things you need to think about, and what to consider when deciding whether or not van life is right for you. So let's get started. I'm Katie, and I really like camper vans. I've spent the last 5 years talking about them to a lot of people. So I haven't actually lived in a camper van. I did live in a camper for a year and a half out in the middle of a national forest when I taught outdoor ed in Southern California. It was amazing. That's the real camper right there. So changed my life. For the last 5 years, a little over 5 years, I've been in the van life industry. I started at a conversion shop here in Denver called Vanlife Customs, and it was really awesome because I got to learn the old-fashioned way by answering a lot of phone calls and emails from people like you, like I don't know, probably 10,000 emails and hundreds of calls. So everybody had amazing questions, and that's how I was able to learn what I know now. I built a van during the pandemic, like a lot of people, and it was way harder than I thought. And I had the help of an incredible engineer, architect, and it still blew my mind at how difficult it was to figure out some of these systems. So definitely probably should have used a kit, and we'll talk about that later. But I do have that experience. And selling it was kind of challenging, but not that bad. I also have had the great privilege of being a judge for Gutted seasons 1 and 2. You will probably hear more about that from a few other contestants that I believe are speaking this weekend. So that's very exciting. It's a 5-day build competition and reality show for all this schooly RV van life stuff. Really cool. Don't ask me who the winner is. You will have to tune in and watch. And ultimately, I'm a huge Go Camp fangirl. I have been sending people to Go Camp for years because it is so important when you make a huge financial decision like a camper van to know really what you're getting into. It's a lot like dating. So I always recommend people go and date a few other vans besides, just looking at things on the internet. So huge fangirl, love that I'm here now. It's an incredible team of people who really love what they do and want to see everybody who wants to get into a van be able to get into one. So, okay. Vans are awesome. Vans are pretty complicated these days. It's all going to be okay. Take it easy breezy. We've got a long way to fly. So there are a lot of rabbit holes to fall down into in this world. You can go off for I don't know, 300 hours on YouTube videos for just a transit, so don't get too bogged down. We're here to bring you back up, get you inside some vans, and also to help give you a framework to think about all of this so that you don't make maybe some big mistakes that you could. So this is more or less what I will be talking about today. So you want to buy a van. These are the things that I wish everybody knew before getting into a camper van. One, some stuff to consider before even going in and deciding ooh, I really love that blue tiled shower ProMaster with the hydraulic bed lift. Let's think about some things first and have a framework. 2, know your options. It is a very cool, dynamic industry. There's a ton of innovation that is coming out all the time. So know your options there. There's probably more stuff than I know about. Email me. I need to know stuff. 3, do your research. And that is definitely more than we all spend a lot of time on the internet, but there's some more tactical research that you should probably do and experience and connect with some people first. 4, mistakes to avoid. So I have seen a lot of really amazing stuff, and I've seen some heartbreaking things. that we can all avoid and learn from people's lessons. So happy to share that. And finally, making money with your van. We love that here at Go Camp and are happy to share what we know with everyone. Consider these things. So you've been dreaming of the van life. You've seen all the reels and the posts. You have a Pinterest board. But if I could have everyone just consider and know a few things before going down a long, long road, that would be fabulous. One, money. How will you pay for it? So there's a lot to think about with money in this world. Actually, if you're thinking about like financial freedom and independent wealth and health, Ben from Vamanos Vans is talking, I believe, right after me. Check out his talk. It's all about that. If you want to know about money, as in how to maximize your rental, I will share a full comprehensive guide with that at the end of this talk. But before all of that, how will you pay for it? Because there's no such thing as a camper van loan. I repeat, there's no such thing as a camper van loan. There are RV loans and traditional automobile loans where if you don't have the van that is titled as Class B RV, you're going to need to make up the difference of the Kelley Blue Book value of the chassis and the upfit. So that means either buying a Class B RV through a dealership or a company that has Class B RV certification and a dealership's license. Otherwise, you will have to look into alternative financing. Right now, Lightstream is the best, but there are some builders that are out there that have found some really interesting financing models. But think of that because, loans can be tricky for this stuff. To maintenance. Who's going to fix this beautiful, beautiful, tiny home that we put on wheels? This tiny little apartment that we put into a metal box that we're now going to shove out into the world down washboard roads, into different humidities, climates, temperatures. You have to think about who's going to fix it, because if you built it yourself, that's awesome. You'll probably fix it yourself because you're handy and you know how everything went together. If you buy it from a dealership or a builder with a warranty, they'll fix it, which is great. But if you end up buying it used or from somebody who doesn't have a warranty, you're going to need to think about who's going to fix it, because a lot of builders and shops out there won't actually work on vans that they didn't build themselves. And it can be especially tricky with electrical. But there's solutions that are coming out all the time. People are being electrical savants with this stuff, but that's something that you need to be aware of. And experience. Have you ever been inside one? Like, I know pictures are great, and I know daydreaming is great, but I've been on phone calls with people that have spent 2 years planning their perfect build to then finally go out and rent one and realize that what they had planned in their head was wrong. This is an actual story. There was a woman who had everything planned out to the T, the designs, the components. She went and rented something very similar and realized the van that she wanted was much too big. It couldn't go where she wanted to go. She didn't feel comfortable in it. She ended up renting a ProMaster City, which is like a smaller minivan size thing, and had a phenomenal time. And then decided she actually just wanted to be a lifelong renter instead of an owner, because she didn't want the stress of all the maintenance and stuff like that. So please, before you go and marry a camper van sight unseen without having dated one before, go out on a few dates. GoCamp.com has some great options, just saying. All right, so know your options. There's a lot of stuff out there. More is coming up every day, more models, more components, more builders. I think there's over like 250 boutique van builders in America now. Go to Explore Van X is a great resource for that. But just know your options, because there is a lot. But also consider those things that I talked about: the money, the maintenance, and the experience. First one, buy. New, you are going to be buying from an RV dealership or a builder that has a dealership license and some sort of RV certification. So that's going to be like your Thors, your Winnebagos, your Storytellers, things like that. It's great. It comes with financing. Used, that's all over. Check with builders. Sometimes they'll be able to list used bills for their clients, and that's a great way to get a good quality van with a warranty. Vanlifetrader.com is also a great place to go for used vans, but think again about the maintenance portion of it and the money portion of it. Check to see if it has a warranty and if it is Class B RV or not. And that can actually be converted. So a cargo van can be converted to a Class B RV, but that is on a state-by-state basis. Sometimes it's an easy thing, but look into that. So next we have build. Lots of options here. DIY from scratch. Oh, what a wonderful challenge for you. I honestly believe that anybody can do it. You will save a ton of money. There are lots and lots of resources. One of my favorite van life people experiences so far to date were these two women who had bought a long wheelbase Sprinter 170, and they purchased it after both of their husbands had passed away, and they were best friends and were traveling around America, picking up things and building out their van as they went. And they would come in to check to see if it was safe and to see if we had any good deals for them on other components. It's amazing what vans can do for people, but it is very, very challenging. So if you don't know exactly what you're doing, please have good resources and people to go check on safety and things like that. Then we have DIY plus kit. There's so many cool products out there right now. More coming up every day. We have Van Lab. They have really great kits, super affordable. You don't even need to screw into the van. It can be fully removed, and they've got, I think, 4, 5, 6 different models now. Check that out. There is, let's see, ABC Rig out of Colorado. There's Happier Camper, which has a really cool modular kit that you can remove. And then Swell Vans is doing some really incredible work. So check out a bunch of different things. There's kits, there's components, there's ways to help do wall panels and things like that. You aren't alone. Next, we have a professional builder, which is great. They will get it done fast, typically 6 weeks to 4 months, depending. It will be a little bit costlier. A lot of times it is cash only financing, but it will come, like the bigger builders do come with warranties and do beautiful work. So know about that. And then finally, you can act as your own contractor and do a staged build, potentially with a local shop or another shop around. And you can decide, like, what if I want to do the windows and the vent fan and the insulation? Could you guys potentially do the wiring and the wall panels, and then maybe you order another kit. So there are some great options to be able to finance self-paced, do it yourself and save money, but please always have a backup resource. Excuse me, I'm going to grab some water. And finally, we have renting, which of course I'm somewhat partial to, but it is the dating of the van world. You can go out, you can try different models, layouts, and with GoCamp, we have a try before you buy page where you can sort by builders across the country, and we are adding more all the time. If you don't see a builder that you are wanting to try out, email me. My email will be at the end of this. I will go out and try and find that van for you, I promise. It's a great option because, one, interest rates are pretty crazy high right now. So if you want to have an experience immediately and try some different things, renting is great. And also there's no commitment when it comes to the maintenance and the huge financial thing. And I want to say there's nothing wrong with being a renter instead of owning. If you realize that it makes the most sense for you to try out a van 1 to 3 times a year, and it's actually like more fun to fly into a place and try new regions, there's tons of reasons that renting might work for you, and we'd love for you to give it a try. All right, step 3, do your research. We all love the internet. I love the internet. I'm on it right now. But experience has to play a role in this, because that's the entire point of getting outside in a van, is to have those experiences. So please, please, please connect with some people and get inside some vans. There are tons of great events and expos all across America. If you go to gocamp.com, we have our events page up saying what we'll be at, but we also have a really cool blog that shows a bunch of events and expos with a wide variety of interest, including ones that are more gauged at just the community. So you can go out and see if this community is for you. Everybody is welcome, but it isn't for everybody. And then once again, we have the Go Camp Try Before You Buy. If you are looking to get in to a specific builder or model of Class B RV, go and you can sort through a bunch of different vans and see what you want. And then make sure that before you go and make that big commitment, you're enjoying yourself in your van. This one breaks my heart a little bit. So mistakes to avoid. I've seen really, really beautiful things and beautiful vans and people having great times. And then I've seen some stuff that's kind of heartbreaking, because it is the Wild West, and sometimes people get in rough situations. So this was a brand new, beautiful van. And unfortunately, these people had already spent, are you ready for it? On the upfit alone, they had spent $28,000. So they had paid a local woodworker who actually did a really, really beautiful job, but the upper cabinets fell down while the people were driving. And that was the electrical behind it. And you just can't expect the handyman to know how to build a camper van. It's a different world. You have to have different connection points. You have to know what you're doing. And the handyman doesn't come with a warranty. So if you want to save money, please either build it yourself or find somebody, a loved one, that can't block your calls or your text messages when things go wrong. So please note that. Another thing is your bed is too small. So when it comes to design, there are two things that you need to know. I know you love your van and it's perfect and designed for you, and it's your only like little part of the universe that's perfect. But most vans have multiple owners in its lifetime, and it's really important that the world gets to enjoy your van either by renting or owning it after you are done with it. And if your bed is too small, it will take a very long time for it to sell. And I've seen vans be on the market for like over a year, 2 years, because the bed is too small and Goldilocks doesn't fit. So think of that. Another thing with design that I always want to mention is when it comes to all the bells and whistles that you want, you have to remember, when you have more stuff, you have more stuff that can break down. So the more complicated your design, your layout, your outfit is, the more challenging it could be for the maintenance portion of it. So if you want that AC unit and the microwave, you're going to need a big electrical system, and you're going to need somebody who's going to monitor that electrical system, because maybe down washboard roads, little wires come undone. It's the nature of the beast. Just like know when you're going into it that crazy designs sometimes will come with a lot more challenges. And then finally, I hate when this happens, because it does happen, but good people with good intentions that are fully capable of doing this run out of time, money, or experience and can't complete the build. Then you go and see partial builds listed up on Vanlife Trader at a huge discount, which that would be a great place to look if you want a good deal sometimes, but they're not going to be able to recoup the money of the upfit. and all the materials a lot of the times, because it is partially installed and people either want a blank canvas or something that's fully built out. So don't get yourself in that situation, please. All right, now that we've gone through all the woes, troubles, worries, you did it. You rented vans, you went to expos, you talked to people, and you found the perfect van. What do you do now? Well, knowing that you are as savvy as you of course are going to rent it out on GoCamp to recoup some of the costs of your van. And while there are tons of questions like how difficult is it? What is the insurance like? How many little dings can I expect? Of course, the first question is like, how much money can we actually make? And we're not here to keep secrets. So making money with your van depends on a lot of things: how much you want to participate, what your goals are, your location, your van. Yes, all of that matters. But there's 3 basic tiers of money that we say people make. The first is gas money. This is the majority of people that are just coming on and want to share their van, but really they want to use their van when they want to use it. So they're using it in the summer, blocking off big chunks. The photos are maybe okay. They don't really have any reviews, but hey, you're making $5,000 to $15,000. That's awesome. The next chunk of people is going to be our gas money and cool upgrades. So this is going to be a little bit more work. You're going to have a fairly open summer calendar, because think of it, when you want to use your van is when other people want to use your van. And if you want to make some money, having that calendar open is very important. You have some decent pictures and a couple good reviews. So good job. Next, we have our VIP top earners. They are getting gas money, upgrades, and they're covering their monthly payment. What do you need to do for that? We'll cover that a little bit more in the next page, but you pretty much need to have an open calendar. You need to have awesome pictures, a lot of reviews, a sought after vehicle in a good camper van market. So that's kind of what you can expect. But our top earners made over $60,000 last year, so it's awesome. GoCamp. I rent out a van again on GoCamp. The ROI is incredible. I've made 4 times what I paid for my van. Yes, that's what we're talking about. But not all vans are equal. There are some general trends that we've seen that tend to help if you're looking into getting into vans for financial reasons, to do a little extra business. That's awesome. We have some general tips and trends. Family-friendly vans do pretty well on GoCamp. That's because we have found that the number one reason people are renting vans by I think it was 38% last year, were for family vacations. So we have a lot of awesome 2-seaters in our top 20 vans, but the family-friendly option opens up all those families that are looking for vacations. Dog-friendly is probably our most sought term. So making sure that your van is open to pooches could really, really help. Having things competitively priced means that against all your competition, somebody's going to look at yours, potentially book it when they wouldn't have, and we're seeing they're booking longer trips. So you're going to get those early bookings, potentially from international people that are booking much longer trips. And we know you want to make money every night, but sometimes being competitively priced makes more money in the long run. So that's great. Great reviews. We here at GoCamp are your partners in customer service and marketing and answering all your questions. We're going to help you get those great reviews, but you really should seek them out. And those great reviews matter because people want to hear what other people think about your van. And the most important thing is the open calendar. So if you can consider having a totally open summer calendar and then taking your van when it's not booked, you're going to do a lot better financially. So Epic Pictures, we're going to help you get a professional photo shoot scheduled, but having great pictures only takes a smartphone, and a couple of pointers, which we cover in our Road to Renting guide. And you too can be on the road making lots of money with these beautiful, beautiful Instagram shots. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up, but I want everybody to get out there and please get inside camper vans. We have a lot of great resources for you. Go to gocamp.com and check out our email newsletter, because we are putting out, information not too frequently, but on great new locations, new vans, trip itineraries, and tips. GoCamp.com events page will say all the events that are happening and list the ones that we will be at. So please come to our booth with the cute little blue and yellow. We would love to say hi and chat vans. We've got cute stickers. We've got cute totes. Come say hi. Email me at katie@gocamprentals.com. I really do want to connect. So if there's a certain van or product that you're looking for, let me know. If you're looking to get into bigger fleets or like partnership opportunities, would love to chat. And if I can't answer your questions, I will direct you to somebody who can. Finally, please get inside a van. Go to GoCamp and look at everything there is. And then if you want to try one out, we've got the code Vanlife Summit for $100 off, which is a great deal we'd love to share. Finally, if you want to learn about renting out your van once you have the perfect one, check out our Road to Renting guide. It is 76 pages of all the tips, tricks, trends, and also what you could expect with working with GoCamp, including a side-by-side comparison of us and some of the other folks that are out there that you may think are competition, but are more like partners. And scan that, find out. We would love to have you as part of the team. So that's what I have. I'm Katie. Reach out anytime. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you down the road.